Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel this afternoon, I think. It has come to my attention that in my last video, I did not introduce myself at all. I asked my guests to introduce themselves and I basically just sat there and did nothing. And my friends have been gracious enough to point that out to me. So today, I figured I would do a little get to know me video while I put together some bracelets for kids at church. And if you're watching this video, kids at church, and you don't get the bracelets, I promise they'll come. Just be patient with me while I get through this video. And I have Michael behind the camera today. He has curated a bunch of questions. I did not get a chance to look at it, so let's see if I'm able to answer accurately and they're not shocking or anything. So Michael, I'm ready whenever you are while I do this stuff here.
All right.
Okay.
So before we start, your name and a little intro.
Okay, my name is Dorothy. I go by Dorothy Van-ess on the internet in honor of my grandpa. Van-ess is my mom's maiden name. I didn't really get much time to spend with my grandpa, so I've always wanted the last name Van-ess because it just sounds so cool and just like Van-ess, Dorothy Van-ess. So that's just a little bit about me. I live in Seattle. I've been in Seattle almost 4 years now from Massachusetts, and I think that's about all that I will say about myself. I think. Yeah.
All right. So before we get into the questions, let's kind of make this a challenge. How many bracelets do you think you can make before the video is done?
Before the video ends. If I'm detailed enough, and well, not detailed enough, if I don't care enough, I have to think about each kid as I do this. I'm gonna lowball myself and say 2. I have 4 thingy majiggies cut, but I'm gonna say 2 and then we'll see. Yeah, I think I could probably make this work.
All right.
Okay.
First question.
Okay.
How did you first get into creating content on YouTube?
It's something I've always wanted to do, to be honest. If my mom would tell you, like, this idea came to me in college. I've always wanted to write, though. I unfortunately told a friend about it while I was in school, and they kind of jacked my idea to do the same, kind of like run a blog, and it discouraged me for years and years and years. And when I finally graduated and moved home, and my mom was like, "Hey, Charlie, like, you're gonna possibly regret not doing this, so just go ahead and do it." I set up my blog and everything, and then moving on to YouTube, I decided to interview friends. I did Rebecca, who I met while traveling, and I figured I have all these videos that I've never put out. I just transcribe them into text. Why not put the long format videos on the internet, and maybe it might bless someone, other people might be interested in it as well. So that's how I switched. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Love you, Mom.
This is hard, trying to do this and answer questions at the same time.
All right, next question.
Yeah.
What will you do with your first YouTube check?
My first YouTube check?
Yeah.
It'll probably honestly be a tithe. Like, I'm a Christian, and I truly believe that the 10th of your first needs to go to God. And in this case, like, your first check, everything needs to go to God. Like, without God and without my friends and him bringing people like Michael, Josie, Kofi, Netsi, all these people in my lives, I will probably not be able to get this much push to do some of this content, and it would be a great way for me to honor God in that, monetarily, I guess. Or maybe I'll just buy, I don't know, a new camera. God will let me know when we get there.
All right, next question.
Okay.
This is just pick and choose. Instagram or TikTok?
TikTok. Instagram literally feels like, we joke about this all the time, literally feels like monetary spirits. I just watch you. And I've had to deactivate my Instagram a few times just because I get super overwhelmed by the content, super overwhelmed by what people are saying and stuff like that. Yeah.
All right, next question. What's been your biggest challenge as a YouTuber?
Maybe not just with YouTube, but just like creating in general is motivation over discipline. I think I get really excited to create content. I honestly have a book, and I don't know if I have it up here, but I have a book with ideas, like dating back to like 2018. I get super excited. I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm just like, I don't feel like shooting today. I don't feel like recording today. And I think it's motivation over discipline, like choosing to be disciplined rather than going based on how I'm feeling in that moment. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Huh.
Can we take a breather? I don't think I've even halfway through.
No, don't worry. There's more questions coming, so
Okay.
keep going.
Okay.
If you had to choose a superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility, and anybody that knows me probably thinks that's a lie because I'm so good at just being on all the time. But I think the older I get, and in recent years, like the last 6 months or so, I just feel I need to like hide myself a lot. So I think being invisible would be something that I would cherish a little bit more. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
What is your love language?
I took this test a couple years ago now. I think my first one is quality time, and I think I like to receive acts of service, if I remember. I do a bunch for people, and I think I would like for it to be reciprocated to those it may concern once in a while. But I think my number one is quality time. Yeah. This is hard. And I'm spilling everything everywhere, and I don't know what I'm doing right now. Okay.
All right. What do you enjoy most about being a YouTuber or a content creator?
It's the random burst of ideas. Like, I don't know if anyone else out there like ever gets like this like gushing of ideas in my brain, and I revel in that. And sometimes it has nothing to do with what I want to do. And this has been something. For my friend who runs her business, like I get so excited. I'm like, hey, I got this crazy idea. It's like 1 p.m. in the afternoon, not 3 a.m. thoughts, but like this is like midday, and I get these like shooting of ideas. And I think being able to see those ideas come to life, maybe right now not for myself, but possibly moving forward for myself, but those ideas for my friends and other people. Yeah, it's really exciting.
All right. Who in your life knows the real you the best?
I was not expecting that question. I think the default answer would be my parents, but I think there are parts of me they don't know.
Okay, let's see, aside your parents.
Aside my parents, probably my sister a little bit.
Aside your sister.
Aside my family. Somebody out there knows me a little bit better than most people. Will keep it like that. Michael's trying to get me to say something I don't want to say, but I think my pastors also know me a little bit. Being able to just open up to them a little bit. Maybe not the whole me. God.
Aside God and your pastor, aside the church in general.
Somebody, Michael. Let's just leave it there. Somebody's child knows me a little bit better. Okay.
All right. What kind of equipment do you use to shoot your videos?
So right now we are on. We are on a Sony a6400. We've got an iPhone 12 going. We've got a microphone. I have another two Canon cameras, and I want more.
All right. What do you believe is your purpose in life?
Oof. Are we talking like biblically? Hey, like spiritually or just like in general?
In general, life.
I think I am meant to bring ease to people, and I say that because of my temperament. Ease in the sense of like, if there's a need and I can fulfill it, I'm more than happy to get it done. I've always joked that I was meant to be a healer in some sorts, except I hate blood, and I just don't want to go to medical school. I don't want to touch anything. But healing in the sense that like I can bring healing to people who in that moment might need it, I think is one of my calling's purpose. God, I hope you're listening. Confirm or deny for us, please. Yeah, something like that.
This is not part of the questions, but can you give like an example of something you did and you're like, oh, I feel good about this and I feel like this is like a purpose, like, yeah, I was supposed to do this?
Yeah. I think managing our church, like being in the back. Again, I don't mind being in the front, but I think being a helper is a big. I find joy in it, but not in the way that other people find joy, as in like I'm not going to just do it just because. Like when things run accordingly, and it might just be my temperament that like aids that, but yeah, providing need.
All right.
Say. Yeah.
This is a would you rather question.
Okay.
Would you rather relax on an island somewhere or have fun in the city?
Island. It's separate from people, and I hate sand, but I would deal with it. Yeah.
Are you saying what Dorothy, Van-ess, Mensa, are you saying you don't like people?
I like people, but I think some, like I said earlier, like I think you need a break here and there. You know that. You know that. Sometimes you just need a break. I like people, but I think I'm a city girl to live, but your question didn't ask that. It says to escape, right?
To relax.
To relax, yeah. I think Hawaii is nice. Yeah.
Alright. What is one advice you would give to someone starting YouTube?
Just be consistent. Like, just be consistent. I think had I been consistent all those years ago, I probably would not be recording a Get to Know Me right now. Just be consistent. Choose your vision over your current like mood, and that just goes for anything in life, and it's something that I'm still working through. Just get it done, bro. Like tomorrow's not promised. Just do whatever you have to do today. Yeah.
All right. So you're in tech, right?
Yes.
How would you say you balance YouTube with other aspects of your life?
I don't. Everything has to move in harmony. Like I do so much out of work, and sometimes I feel like my outside life is busier than work. It's just a matter of finding what works for you. What works for me right now is maybe shooting super early on a Saturday morning or a holiday, and you pick a super early time to just get it done, schedule it, and stick to that schedule. That's what works best for me, because things pop up and you have no choice but to attend to them. So, yeah.
All right. What is one advice you'd give to your younger self?
I'm still young. Can I?
That's why it's younger. I didn't say young, so I said younger.
I don't know if I have advice.
Okay, if 13-year-old you was watching right now, what would you say to her?
I don't know. You're gonna make me cry.
13-year-old will be disappointed.
Would be disappointed? I don't think so. I think she'd be really proud. Like, I think who I was when I was 13 and how some would say rebellious I was, like, it gets better. In the sense that, like, I think I knew, I thought I had an idea of who I wanted to be at 13. And life continues to show me that you have to just be flexible. Even today, as I'm sitting here, it's like, that's an advice I would give myself right now, is just be flexible and let God take charge. But it does get nice. You live in a nice city. You finally got the freedom you wanted, and you still want to hide from people, so, but it gets better, yeah.
All right. What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't had a chance to?
I'm not a big fan of heights, but I would love to do skydiving. My brother's done it. It was a little scary. Or dive, like heights. I think it has to do with heights, like jumping off a huge cliff and not feel like I'm gonna die as I dive into the water. But maybe skydiving is a good one, let's say. Yeah.
All right. Who is your favorite YouTuber? If you, then aside you.
I am not my favorite YouTuber at the very moment. There are a few YouTubers I grew up watching, the Jackie Inez, the Patricia Bright. At one point in college, people said I looked like Patricia. I don't know if that's true. But I don't think I have a favorite YouTuber at the moment. I do have a few favorite influencers. Can I say those?
Nah, it's fine.
No? Okay. We had a hard interviewer here, guys.
If you could swap channels with another YouTuber for a day, who would it be? And why?
Ooh, I actually do know who it would be. Janae. I think I followed her for such a long time, but I've followed her on Instagram when she used to work at Target, before she transitioned into being a full-time content creator, working with her husband at the time, and she's actually given me pretty good advice. I've DM'd her a few times and she's given me pretty good advice. She's the reason I got my first camera, my first Canon camera. I would maybe not switch lives with her for a day or channels with her, but maybe like shadow her for a day or a week just to see what, I think it would be really cool to see that transition in real life.
All right. How are we doing with the bracelets?
Jelly, I'm still on half of one. I need to move a little bit quicker.
All right. Next question.
I'm listening.
What impact do you hope to have on your audience?
Damn. I haven't thought about that. Ask me that question again in 5 years. I think I would want to encourage people to be a bit more consistent in life in whatever goals they have for themselves, because that's something that I've struggled with, like I mentioned earlier, and it would be nice to see myself grow and maybe that impact my followers, my subscribers, whomever, and maybe spread the gospel a little bit, that impact on their lives.
Oh, okay. What's the biggest risk you've taken as an individual?
Moving to Seattle, I think. Was it a risk though?
Can we get like a little backstory?
I moved here.
Why it was a risk?
Why it was a risk? I didn't know anybody. I think, like at the time, I was in that phase where it's like, I think I mentioned in my last moving out video where I said I was just so ready to leave, and there's always a risk in that, like losing your job, which I have. The first company I was hired with shut down, so there's a risk in the unknown. Will I still be here? Do I still want to live here? At one point, decided I was gonna look for jobs in Europe. Got a job in Spain. Do I leave? My pastor was like, no, you shouldn't leave. And then like I had just accepted my job now and then got that offer. And I think there's a risk in just the unknown. Will I make friends? Will I be alone forever? I don't know. I don't know if that constitutes as risk, but just the risk of the unknown of anything happening whilst I moved here. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I think we are like halfway through the questions.
Okay.
Maybe.
Damn, I need to move a little quicker. It's a very, very slow process.
All right. How do you handle the pressure of maintaining a consistent upload schedule?
I have a lovely person who helps me do that. I think I'm a very no-nonsense person, so having someone else, in this case, tell me what to do and be very no-nonsense with me, as annoying as it can get, and I'm saying that very kindly, it's really benefited me because I thrive on schedules, like everything being in order, so it's very, do not hold this against me when you tell me to post something and I don't post it in the future. I want the time that it's allocated to be posted, but just having someone help me do it is very,
I feel like there will be a lot of memes in this video. You guys should watch out.
When you ask me to post something and I say no, the arguments that we have back and forth, I'm so sorry. I would do better.
All right. Do you ever feel this is a good one. Do you ever feel pressure to share more of your personal life than you're comfortable with?
Not pressure per se. I think there's encouragement for it. I just choose not to, and it's a conversation in progress of sharing a little bit about my life. As you can see, the questions that are being asked and how I am diplomatically answering them. I think I've watched enough and I've been on the internet enough to see how people hold onto such information. The kind of like entitlement that comes with it, and I think just to protect myself, maybe one day, just not, but no pressure, ongoing conversations maybe. Yeah.
I see. I should have been in this video. I should have been next time. We'll have a part 2. There's a part 2 actually.
Be with Michael.
All right. So how do your friends and family feel about your YouTube?
I think people are really excited. My sister called me the other day. It was like, I'm so proud of you for keeping the consistent uploads, because I think everyone knows that I'm really good at this. Like, I really excel at what I do, the talking. I'm able to just be on and just go and be doing it, and just not been consistent with it. So I think everyone's really excited. My dad would always read my blogs when I do finally write them. Would always like text me comments. My friend actually, John Wally, this is a shout out to you. He's been with me through college. He's probably my biggest supporter. Has always been encouraging me to just upload, don't stress about it. And he messaged me on Instagram, was like, whoa, it's very surprising to see me open my Instagram and see this professional looking YouTube video out. And he was very excited for me. So I think everyone's pretty stoked that I'm just cutting the cord and doing what I need to do. Yeah.
All right. What are your favorite hobbies outside of YouTube?
Sleeping. I think I get so tired lately that all I want to do is sleep. But outside of that, I do love to read. It's been a tough challenge the last couple of months to even finish a book. I love to play volleyball. I haven't done that in a while. Sorry to my volleyball friends. Soon, I need to manage my time a little bit better. I'll be back, no stress, but yeah, those two, I'll say.
All right. This question feels like I've asked. It has already been asked, but
Okay.
it's still a different question.
Okay.
How do you balance your personal life with your online personality? Or would you say they are the same?
They're kind of intertwined in some ways. I think who I portray on Instagram is exactly who I am in person. Not any different, not anymore. I do get a little, when I do get stressed, I will shut everything down. That's exactly how I am in person. I've been told to never delete my Instagram ever again, so we'll see how that goes. I shut down and I just want to be alone, and I think you can definitely see that even in my activities on Instagram, how I post my stories. It will be like zero silence for months on end, just because I'm just dealing with my own things. Yeah, same.
Oh, okay. I think we have like 6 questions left. I hope you are.
I'm almost there. You should stretch it out a little bit. I have one done. I don't know who's gonna get that, but let's see.
All right. What's one thing you are passionate about that most people don't know?
Passionate about? I don't know. I actually don't know. It's a very good question. What am I passionate about? Christ.
Okay. Awkward silence.
Christ? I don't know. I think people know about that.
Yeah, the key phrases that people don't know about.
Oh, I don't know if it's a passion, but I really enjoy hockey. Like, I'm talking ice hockey, and I know. Michael just made a face, but I know. I've said this at work before, and I think people are like, what the heck? You enjoy hockey? Like, obsessed with hockey. Not much this season, just because of how busy life has been, but I follow the Krakens, I follow the Maple Leafs. I grew up in Boston, but the Boston area. Not really a big fan of the Bruins, but I'll follow the bandwagon here and there. But I do love hockey, yeah. And I think it's because I've always wanted to play, and my mom said no. So I have to find ways to enjoy it.
Oh, okay. I'm trying not to usually ask this. Okay, what's your favorite childhood memory?
My favorite childhood memory probably has to do with my sister. There's too many. The one that comes to mind right now, and honestly it does not involve my sister, which I'm really sad about, but my dad, I'm from Ghana, I'm Ghanaian. My dad, there was like a French exchange thing, student exchange thing. I was really good at French. Please do not ask me any questions. I could not respond back to you right now. And they were looking for students in the whole country to travel to France for sort of like an exchange thing, and I was chosen to go, and I really enjoyed it. It was probably like my first big travel outside of the country, and it's created a bug, because now I can't sit still. I always want to be on a plane. I always want to do something, and it was a really fun time with other people in Zimbabwe. There's a few folks in South Africa that were on the trip. Yeah, it's a great time.
Alright. What is secret talents you have?
Secret talent?
Yeah.
A lot. I am joking. I think I'm a really good singer. I'm not singing, please and thank you. I used to like be really shy about it when we were growing up, because people were just mean about it, like in choir practice and stuff, because people were just better, and I just needed a little bit more development. And now I'm a little bit more developed with certain songs. I'm not like a great singer, but secret talent. Michael, why are you laughing at me? Michael has not heard me sing at church before, so I don't know why actually he has. You can confirm or deny. Am I a bad singer?
This is the part I put another meme.
No. Secret talent. I think I'm a great cook, but I think most people know that for the most part. Yeah. I gotta wrap this up. I'm going very slow. Michael, go slow.
I actually thought you were gonna speak about you playing the bass guitar, but whatever.
Oh, I did play. I don't play it anymore. I did learn how to play the bass guitar, and we would travel to New Jersey on that smelly turnpike every Saturday in the summers growing up, and we would learn how to play, and I think he's a pastor now. Pastor Derek taught me how to play the bass guitar. I don't play anymore though, so yeah.
Alright. Where do you see yourself in 5 to 10 years?
Damn. Hopefully married. 5 years. Wait. Yeah, maybe married with kids. I'll be old, damn. Live with my mans, my boo thing, I don't know. Probably, yeah.
Okay, let's split this question into two.
Okay.
So in 5 years, where you see yourself work-wise and then family-wise?
Work-wise, I'm in between decisions right now, and it's not something I want to share. But I think work-wise, everything will be good, stable, comfortable. Everything will be stable and comfortable. And the reason I don't want to share is because I need to make that decision for myself, and I don't want to be, what's the word? moved by my decision making by sharing it, or somebody, evil spirits watching me, you're rebuked in the name of Jesus. Please don't come and watch my videos, please. But yeah, work-wise, I think just more stable, no worries about being laid off and all those stupid little things that people tend to worry about. A little bit more comfortable in my career, I'd say. And yeah, career-wise, that's what I'm looking forward to. Family-wise, yeah, definitely married. I think I want to be married soon. God, I hope you're listening. Please, maybe. But I do have a little bit of growing up to do, I think, in that arena. But yeah, married, kids, why not? The whole 9 yards. Maybe not a white picket fence, but a nice home built from scratch. With my mans, my kids, twins, triplets, quadruplets. Maybe I'll have 6 kids at once, and that'll be it. And we just go from there. But yeah, I think, yeah, in 5 years, 10 years, damn, I'll be like 10 years. Wow.
You'll be that old, even.
Charlie, I'll be pushing 40.
But you wouldn't be
That's
40.
old as heck. Maybe a little bit more established in like ministry. I do want to serve. Rev, if you're watching it, please, I don't want to be a pastor. I just want to be in the background. I still want to be serving God in some way, somehow, and I don't think I want to be taken away from that. So yeah, expanding my ministry.
Alright, this is it.
Okay,
So
hold on. Don't ask that yet. Let me tie this first so then I can hit my 2 minute two. I don't think it's even gonna fit.
I don't think we said 2, we said 4.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I said two.
just not even I think we are done with the questions, but the final thing is to like give a shout out to 5 people. Like
Give a
5.
shout out.
This you have to like really think about like 5 people that you think deserve a shout out right now.
Number 1 is can I sum them up into one group? This number 1.
Okay.
I'll say my mom, my dad, and my sister.
So your family.
My family,
Alright.
yeah. They've been so supportive, and I think I said I wanted to do this even at the beginning of the year, like do like a woman crush shout out, like person of the month shout out. And I think my sister's been really like supportive. She is younger, and you'd expect that the roles would be reversed. Everyone assumes that I'm younger because I'm just so bratty all the time, but she's been very supportive. She has a busy schedule, and she's always there when I need her. My mom as well, really called her crying like 2 days ago at church, but that's besides the point. My dad is here, and he's just been, everyone's just been great. I think sometimes it's easy to forget that you're loved, and it's easy to forget that there are people that actually give a heck about you. And I saw that on my birthday, like people actually care. And those three are number 1 there. Number 2, drum roll for this, I think would be my friend Henrietta. Henry is, there are like no words to describe my relationship with Henry. We've known each other for so long. She's probably one of my oldest friends, and she is so freaking amazing. Like Henry is so amazing. So there are some friendships that go through rough patches that just don't make it, and literally I don't think we spoke all when I was in college. Like we'll text here and there. She would always remember my birthday. She would go home. It's like nothing's changed. And now like she's brought me on her business, helping her out, supporting me. Guys, you think Michael's annoying with trying to tell me to post? Get you a Henry. Henry is on me, and she said something to me the other day. It was like, you spend so much of your energy helping other people. It's time to just put that in yourself. And I was like, it's too early for that. And those are the kinds of friends I need in my life. Like she will check me, she will correct me, but still be supportive and loving. So number 2 is Henry. Number 3, damn, some people have been moved to the bottom of the list. Please make your way up, you know yourselves. Number 3, has to be Josie as well. Josie is one of my really good friends here She just takes everything I give her. Like, it's not in a bad way. She's very soft-spoken, and she's very shy and just chill, whereas I'm very like, let's go, even though I want to hide half the times. And she honestly pushes me to be more social because I try to get her to be social, which in turn makes me more social. And I think it's been very, 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 very great. So yeah, my family, Henry, Josie. Where are we now? Number 4. There's too many, Michael. Like, I really gotta deep it. Like, There are a few people at church that have been that I really like mean a lot to me. One person's gonna get their own shout out. They're gonna be my number 5, but my number 4 is also another group of people. Can I name them? Michael. Actually, no. Let me start first. It'll be Sam. Sam is amazing. Uncle Sam is amazing. Sam, Michael and his wife Solace, Kekeli, Angelina, like. Those group of people, like, these are people that I know I can call on. Our pastor's wife, Rosemont, like, if I need anything, I can call on them. And I've honestly been such a little shit the last couple of weeks, and they're just giving me the grace and they're giving me the space. And you need people that can pray for you. And these are people that I know if I call on, I can definitely get that from spiritual backing. And life can be so difficult sometimes, and you just need to talk to somebody. But you know that your pastor's wife is there. You know that your church members are there to back you up. And in this case, Michael, taking the time to come sit here and help me film this video and pushing me to do this because he says I'm a yapper and I need to make money off of being a yapper. You know, like people that see a different side of you, but are willing to push you get there. Like, I wouldn't trade that for anything. Not to say that the other people at church that I didn't mention are not as important, but these are people that I think have made a huge difference in my life, and I hold dearly. Yeah. And number 5, he's probably been saying at the beginning of this video, why didn't I say his name? How dare I, after everything he's done for me, is my pastor. My pastor, Reverend Sam. I've known my pastor for forever. He'd be like, small girl, since I was a small girl. And he is a huge person that I rely on to, not just for spiritual backing, but like also for just anything. Where I could call Rev at like midnight and he would pick up like, girl, I'm sleeping, what do you need? But it's still there. Like, even just like regular advice. And so you might be saying like, that's his job. He doesn't have to do it. Pastors have their own lives. Pastors have families of themselves that they need to take care of, but to dedicate that much time, not just doing God's work, but just as a person, how loving they can be. And I've had many pastors like that in my life, and I still have many spiritual fathers like that in my life, but he is you don't get to choose your pastor. You know, God gives you your pastors, it's scriptural, and he's, so I think that'll be my 5. Ask me that again in 2 months or next week when someone pisses
maybe
me
I'll be
off.
Maybe I'll be off that list because the
month.
amount of I can't even say the word I want to use. The amount of pain that I have to go through with this person. Like I said, there'll be a part 2, so I might be in the video. And
ask me again next week when one of them pisses me off. They'll be off the list.
I'm sure it will be me.
And there's another one I want to shout out to. This is a 5.5. They know who they are. You're annoying, but yeah, we'll keep it there.
Alright, that's the end of the video.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that concludes the video. Thank you to Michael for curating a long list of very interesting questions today, and I wasn't able to do tattoo. I don't think it'll fit your wrist. I'll have to redo them and give it to the kids at church. But thank you for watching. If you have any other questions, please put in the chat anything that maybe you need clarification on, that I mentioned about myself or my life or my journey, maybe you're just nosy. I'm nosy, and I always want to know things about people. I may not answer, but I may answer. You never know. So
yeah, we
ask.
need questions in the comment section to pick from for a part
For the
two.
next one? Okay, yeah. So leave all the questions that you may want to know. Maybe you want to get into tech. I don't know, something about school. I like talking, so ask. But don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. I got a lot of heat for not saying this last time, so please do it so that people don't get upset with me. But I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be more coming. There'll be more videos coming, and if you have any other ideas, anything that you're interested in, let me know as well, and we will go from there. But hope to see you next time. Bye.